Sometimes I grow so tired. But I know I've got one thing I got to do. Ramble on. And now's the time is now. Sing my song. I'm going around the world, I gotta find my girl.
Ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of the world, welcome back to your favorite podcast in the world, the Ramble on the Mountain podcast. You'll notice I had a little change there. I'll explain that in a minute. Welcome back to our show. We know it's been a minute, but we have a few things we'd like to share to start off this episode. First of all, welcome to Season 2. I realize we haven't put out the last episode of Season 1, but if you recall, we're going to do that all together live and send it to you that way. Season 2 is going to be a little different. You'll notice if you've clicked on the video, you probably saw that this episode is shorter. And if you're watching, there isn't really a video to go along with it. You're not going to get to see our active, beautiful faces, but I'll be sure to have pictures up so you can not forget what we look like. But this season is going to be more audio focused. So I'm going to try to get it up on a more audio-centered platform so people can listen to it if they don't have time to watch. And those of you that still listen on YouTube, you'll be able to see just like this with a picture on the background, but you can just listen. And there are some reasons for that, and I want to get into that next. If you are a dedicated follower of our show, you've probably realized it's been a while since we released our last episode, and there are a couple reasons for that. The main reason being we are all people, and we all have lives. We have jobs, we have things that we have to do, and we all only have so much time in a day, especially when it comes to weekends. Like things are a little bit different, and we just haven't had the chance to get together to record. And that's going to change even more in the coming future. I said a couple episodes back that I had some news to share, and that news is that me and my family are moving. And not just to another house in this same area. We're moving to a different time zone. So, without getting into the specifics for our own, personal reasons, things are just going to be different, and it's going to be even harder to coordinate. So, for this second season, I'm hoping by doing a more audio-focused and shorter episode, we can alleviate some of that stress and get you people the content that you deserve. With all
Shout
that,
out to the fans.
Do you guys have anything you want to add to that? Was there anything I missed, or anything else you want to say?
Welcome back.
Yeah,
It's good
so
to be back.
Why don't we go ahead and start just real brief. We'll do a Colonel Mustard Light around the table real fast, just to explain sort of some of the things that have been going on with all of us. So whoever wants to go first, go ahead and kick it off.
No screws.
I guess I'll start.
Dead air.
Why not?
All right.
So like Ben said, we're all busy. We all have lives. We all just have things to do. Personally, it is my busy season at work. We have a lot of stuff going on at work. I'm applying for jobs. Graduation's coming up here in about a month. Doing a research project at school that's taken up some time, so it gets busy. And the best time to work on that is the weekend. So sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I have other stuff to do in Morgantown, so sometimes it's harder to come home.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. Dill or Boog?
Yeah, for me personally, I'm in full swing in my internship right now. I just wrapped up my first ever solo vacation to Denver, Colorado, which was pretty nice.
Yeah.
If you follow me on social media, maybe you've seen some of those highlights. It was a pretty good trip, and came back to celebrate our boy Dill's engagement and his bachelor party in Pittsburgh, which was pretty lit. So,
Hell
good
yeah.
time.
Yeah. All right, Dill.
Yeah, touching on what Boog just said, the best weekend ever. Thank you, boys.
Herbert.
What?
So don't be touching on Boog.
He likes it.
Oh, Uncle Touchy.
That's Minnigh. Yeah, last weekend was, like I said, it was freaking awesome. Other than that, started a new job working night shift. So that's been one hell of a time trying to switch over to switching the sleep schedule around, and plus I got to work day shift tomorrow, so that screws it all up. But yeah, other than that, just been hanging out, just chilling. Starting to
Sounds
get back
good.
in the swole game here soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that leaves me to sort of add on to what Casey and Garrett said. For Casey's bachelor party, we took him up to the city of Pittsburgh because it's one of his favorite places in the world, and we did all kinds of stuff from hockey to golf to visiting some landmarks of his favorite musician, Mac Miller, and all other sorts of adult activities. It was a great time. If you've
Getting concussed.
yes.
Cussed
Yeah,
and
I was about to
intoxicated.
say I was waiting for that.
while playing hockey, I hit Garrett in the head with a hockey puck. A couple years ago, I hit him in the shin with one, so we have a great track record for connecting, at least.
My jaw still hurts. It's been over a week, and my jaw still
Yeah.
You
hurts.
can still kind of see it.
Yeah.
I know that the listeners
can't.
can't see, but right now,
Everyone look.
Yeah. So on top of that, for me, as I said, we are getting ready to move. With any move comes a bunch of stuff to do, especially one at a scale of which we are doing. So we're trying to fit in time to see family and getting ready. Just so much stuff that we have to do in less than 2 months. So it's
It must
coming
be
up quick.
freaking hilarious that you're moving.
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
the group chat.
No, you're reading the Snapchat.
So, all right.
Oh,
well, I'm
my
glad to
Lord.
hear everybody's doing pretty good, and we've had some good times. With that, we're going to get started on a new segment. With this season, we're going to keep trying to add in some new segments, as well as revisiting some old ones. We've come up with a lot lately centered around our favorite internet platform, Reddit, and today we're going to try one that I came across, or just sort of thought up the other day while I was laying around. There is a subreddit titled r/Am I the Asshole? As in the question. Essentially what it is people going online and sort of presenting a situation and looking for validation to what they did, said, or thought. So they're asking, am I the asshole because I did this? So these fine four gentlemen, we are going to be the said council of the assholes. I'm going to read off the situation, and they are going to vote and say and give their opinions as to whether or not they think the person in question was indeed or was not the asshole. So everybody clear on sort of what we're going to do?
Yes,
Pretty much yes,
let's
no
go
with
for it.
explanation. Hell yeah.
Let's learn as we
All
go.
right, all three of you just talked at the same time, so that was good.
That's what
All
we're
right,
looking for.
So I'm going
Yes, I'm clear.
to find. I'm going to find one that sounds interesting. The first one off the bat, and one thing I'm going to try to consider too. These can get pretty long, but this one seems like a good length. So the first one is, am I the asshole for hating my mom for making me share a bed with her? So that's the question. The situation he or she provides is, so my mom and I have been living in a one-bedroom home for some years. I turned 17 in a few months. My mom first couldn't afford to get a second bed when we first moved, but I was young, about 9 years old, so it didn't matter. Once I turned maybe 13 or 14, I started to speak up at how most kids my age, at least, sleep in their own bed. Let me clarify, we are in no way, shape, or form poor. My mom earns a decent amount of money every week. Each time she has an excuse as to why she can't get a bed for me. I know I might sound ungrateful, but there's many reasons why I need my own bed at least. For one, she snores, so there's nights I'm up till 4 a.m. tossing and turning. 2, She likes to cuddle me, and I don't like that. I've told her maybe 10 to 15 minutes is fine, but not for 2 to 3 hours. She'll get angry at me, and she calls me selfish for not wanting to hug/cuddle her. We've got a futon couch in the living room, but I can't sleep there because she says it will ruin it, even though it's made for sleeping. There's been nights that I slept on the floor in order to get a good night's rest. I don't want to make it seem like I hate her with every bone in me because I don't. I just hate her for making me share a bed with her for almost 10 years. She even brags about it to others like it's something to be proud of. Quote, "Well, my daughter and I still sleep together." It's quite embarrassing. Okay, so the girl in question is indeed a girl. So it's a mom still sleeping with, or a girl still sleeping with their mother.
Okay.
I had
So,
plenty of thoughts running through my mind throughout that entire process.
all right.
Most of them gender
Dill,
neutral.
why don't you, Councilman Dill, why don't you go ahead and explain, what are your first thoughts? Why don't everybody give their first thoughts, and then we'll give our verdict.
First off, shout out futons because I love futons. If I could sleep on a futon instead of a bed, I probably would. My bed's not that comfortable. But you know that I like futons because I slept on your futon a lot.
Yeah. Just a little side note. I used to have a futon in my bedroom because for some reason I thought that was a good idea since I had a small room. And Case used to come over all the time, and that was always his bed of choice.
But
so
yeah.
he did indeed enjoy that futon.
The first thought that was running through my mind the whole time was like, well, first off, how old is this person? Once you said they were 17, like, yeah, that's weird. Like, I love my mom and I hug my mom.
Well, they turned 17 in a few months.
Still, even a 13-year-old or below, I love my mom and I hug my mom, but would not want to cuddle my mom in bed every night. That's just weird to me.
Yeah. Okay. Minnigh, you want to give your thoughts?
Yeah, so I mean I agree with what you said, Casey. The other main theme that was running through my head was just be grateful for what you have. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they're not going to provide their full financial situation, and I mean, and I guess it's different for everybody what they consider a decent salary, but be grateful for what you have. But I also get that it's a very impressionable time for kids because that's coming up through her middle school years through high school. So it's a very interesting time for her to have all that. So, yeah, I completely understand wanting your own bed to sleep on or sleep out in the room or whatever. But, I mean, I think overall you should just be grateful for what you have. Some people wish they had a bed to sleep on.
Could you imagine if you tried to bring a board game, though?
That's true.
Yeah, well, and that's a whole other side of the argument.
Well, all right. Garrett, why don't you go ahead? What are your first thoughts?
First thoughts, kind of going off what Minnigh said about not sharing all the financial information. A 17-year-old typically doesn't have a great concept of what real money is. When I was 17, $100 seemed like, a decent chunk of money, and now it's like you can blow that in, 20 minutes and not feel it. Another thing that I have is, like, as a guy, I'm a cuddle boner type of guy. So, like, just because it's not a sexual thing, the rubbing and, like, gets me kind of aroused. Physically, but not sexually. So, like, I get cuddle boners. So I would rather get a cuddle boner with a friend, one of you guys, than my own mom. So, like, cuddling's kind of off limits for family, in my opinion.
Is that what I was feeling last weekend, Bug?
Yeah. Nah, man. I snuck a banana.
Yeah.
Just trying to have a healthy bedtime snack.
That's even better.
Banana with your 2 bottles of milk.
Oh, my Lord. So mad about that.
All right. So, and I'm trying to keep the perspective of the person asking the question, because in the end, like, because we're judging them, I'm trying to take my own perspective and thoughts out of it.
Okay.
So, just on the facts, this is a 16-year-old girl with her mom. It sounds like there's no dad in the picture, no other siblings, in a 1-bedroom house, and this has been going on for 10 years. So that's just the cold hard facts. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I was that old, like 16 and even around that age, what seems like a decent amount of money, because you don't really have a job, and I don't know if this girl has a job or not, she doesn't really know the financial situation. I mean, you can make observations and sort of judge by how comfortable your life has been, but I don't know, one, if that's the actual case, and two, it doesn't say where they live. Are they in a city where a one-bedroom, a one-bedroom house or apartment is pretty big, and there's just no more room, or is this, sort of out where the cost of living is lower and that's all they can afford? Either way, that space brings in a lot of sort of my thought. Even if she can't have her own bed, I want to know, is this like a pretty big bed in itself, or could the mom at least get like 2 twin beds? Because I think it'd be just as easy to get 2 twin beds and share the space, as well as letting the girl have her own area to sleep on.
Plus, she said something about like opportunities to get a different bed and then make up excuses. That's what kind of like, it's like.
But remember, the girl asking the question is the one who's obviously annoyed with it. Who knows what the mom really said? Did she make excuses because she just didn't want to, or is the more understandable and more likely option, maybe she really just can't get the bed? Like, you got to keep that in mind. So that's sort of my first thoughts and observations, I guess. So, Councilman of the Assholes, Councilman Dill, what is your verdict? Is she the asshole or not?
Not an asshole.
Yeah, I think you froze up a bit there. What'd you say?
Not an asshole.
Not the asshole. Okay, what's your final sticking point as to why?
I don't know, it's just, there's got to be something. I bought a dresser on Facebook for $30, and there's beds on there for like $50, like, and I know the situation's probably different, but there's just got to be a way, like, especially if it's a mother and a daughter, like, that mom went through the same point in her life, and she's got to understand what that 16-year-old girl's going through and what kind of emotional toll that would have on somebody at that age. Like, you find a way to do stuff like that, especially for your kids. So, like, I feel sorry for the girl went away, and I don't think she's an asshole.
Okay,
Councilman
so 1
Dill.
for not. Thank you, Councilman Dill. Councilman Jerry, what is your verdict?
So I'm gonna do it a little bit different, but I think the girl's like 25% an asshole. I don't think I'm kind of with Dill. I understand. Again, I go back to the ungrateful thing. Like, be grateful for what you have and understand that sometimes it may not always just work out. I think we all find that out as we go through life. But at the same time, I think there's a way. If you have a couch futon in your other room, that's a place you can sleep. That's an excuse to me. If that is in its truest form of words, if she is just saying you can't sleep on it because you're going to ruin it, that's an excuse. So if that is in fact true, yeah, you need to let her sleep there. It's completely okay. But I think in the main focus, though, I don't think she's an asshole.
Yeah,
Okay,
man, trust
so
me. I don't know if any of the listeners have slept on a futon, but I love them. I think they're comfortable than most people make them out to be.
Casey, do you like futons?
Hey, by the way, I like futons.
Do you like futons on your salad?
Yes, I like a tossed futon.
All right, Councilman Boog, what is your verdict?
I'm going to go in the other direction, and I'm going to say that she is the asshole, even though I made points for her. The way that I feel, if this mom is a single mom, 16 is still a kid in my opinion. It's not like she's, doing anything sexual. She's just cuddling with her daughter, and I mean, if she's a single mom, she has nobody else in her life like that. Think about the support that her daughter's actually providing for her by doing literally nothing but laying in the same bed. So I'm going to say she is kind of an asshole because, you know, she's not really seeing the big picture of she's getting quality family time out of what's happening.
I think some people would define quality family time different. But
Oh,
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
I
what
see
I'm
what you
saying,
mean.
yeah, like, because, I mean, if her mom has nobody in her life but her daughter, you know, that is quality time for her, so.
Be grateful that you have a mom.
Right, exactly.
Understood. All right, so
Councilman
with a
Bean.
vote of 2-1. Oh, yes. My vote, no. I'm going to say not the asshole. And for a couple reasons. One, it seems like she's tried to make it clear to her mom at least a little bit that she's uncomfortable. So it's better if she were just posting this, and if she were to say, you know, oh well, I've never brought it up. I'm just mad, and I'm not even going to try to reason with my mom. Then I would say yes, because I think the fact that she's made an effort to say, hey mom, you know, this is a little uncomfortable for me. And even if she didn't say why, as long as she made it known, then I think she's justified to be annoyed with the situation. My advice to said person out there, if you've voiced your opinion and you're making it known, I think you need to work harder to come to a compromise with the mom. Because, as we've said, you may not really understand what her financial situation is for the two of you. There might be a legitimate case. And it seems like the two of them are not seeing eye to eye. But there could be a solution there. You can deal with the space that you have without one person getting what they want and the other person not. I think that this is definitely a solvable problem, at least.
Plus, she's 16 and she can legally work in the United States. If she wants a bed, that kind of goes against what I said about her not being an asshole. But if she wants a bed that bad, she can get a part-time job and get a bed.
Yeah. So, with 3 votes, not the asshole, user FML UG, you have been declared not the asshole. All right, and now that we've finished one question and we're at about 23 minutes, why don't we go ahead and we're going to have, from now on, since we're doing short episodes, we're going to do 2 ad reads per episode, and just do them at the same time. So today's episode is sponsored by our, once again, favorite NuSkin products distributor, Shelly Minnigh. And we also have a new sponsor from a listener of the show, an old high school friend of ours, who is doing business selling insurance. His name is Jordan Wilson. He has not given me an official ad read yet, and I will be honest, I haven't had the time to write it.
Shout out
give you
Jordan
what he
Wilson.
said, and we'll give you a couple words about him and who he is. So, Minnigh, why don't you go ahead and start off with Shelly, and I'll get Jordan's ready.
Sure. So as Ben said, our favorite NuSkin products distributor, Shelly Minnigh, is running a little bit of a different special here. So we have a few new things to talk about. So we did a Valentine's Day thing in the past. We are now running a Mother's Day special. So it is going to make your mom or the other special lady in your life happy, whoever it may be. So we have a couple different new products here I want to talk about. The first of which is the Soul Solution that will help you with soft and healthy feet. The Self-Tanning Gel, summer's coming up. I know it's spring now, so you got to get that started. But we're still selling the whitening toothpaste as well, guaranteed to make your smile whiter and brighter. Through May 5th, you can get 3 products for $60,
Oh.
which I don't have the number in front of me, but I believe it's a $22 savings. I
That's a
did
deal
write that down.
regardless.
It is quite a deal that I would say from her. $22 savings. And then also we have another bonus sale. So we have the Epoch Baobab, she's going to hate me, body butter, which reduces scars and stretch marks.
Baja
It's something.
Blast.
Baja Blast, which is Mountain Dew. Boa Body from Epoch, which reduces scars and stretch marks and is also a mosquito repellent.
Ooh.
So that's a little interesting combination there,
I
but it
hate
works.
mosquitoes.
That is $35 regular. But if you mention Ramble on the Mountain, if you contact her, it will be $27 from now through May 5th. So again, the Mother's Day special is going to apply to 3 products for $60, a $22 savings, or the Epoch Body Butter, I think it's Body Butter, regular $35 to $27 from now until May 5th. Contact Shelly Minnigh on Facebook. She is public. You will find her. Get yourself some new products. Get those teeth white. Get that tan on.
Man,
Go get it.
I'm going to text Shelly right now because I'm a bargain hunter, and that's a bargain.
It is. It is quite the bargain.
All right, yes, thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Shelly, for your continued support of our show and all of us in our life journey. So our next sponsor, like I said, is a new person. His name is Jordan Wilson. He went to the same high school as the 4 of us, same grade as Minnigh and I. Really good, really nice guy, good dude, and thank you for supporting the show. This is what he sent to me, but I promise, Jordan, in the next episode I'll have an actual read for you. So, Jordan is a licensed agent with Erie, Progressive, and many other insurance companies selling home, auto, life, and commercial insurance. Contact him for any insurance needs you have, or if you're just looking to save money. Short, sweet, and to the point. But yeah, like I said, next time I'll have an actual read for
His
you.
actual
Thank you, Jordan,
agency
for your support.
is
We appreciate it.
KMK Insurance in Cumberland, Maryland. I do know that because he also, I had his business cards and he had mine while I was selling cars. So shout out Jordan Wilson.
Javier.
All right.
There's his name.
All right. So I think we got one more case for the Council of the Assholes, and this one definitely looks like it's going to be interesting. So the question is, am I the asshole for saying my religion is the flying spaghetti monster? The details of the case. So, for a class discussion, we had to do a short presentation on something we had a strong belief in. Could be religion, politics, etc. I, 16-year-old male, am an atheist and chose Pastafarianism, which is the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, as my religion. The whole class was laughing except 2 students who were strict Muslim and Christian. My teacher asked, "Are you just doing this as a joke or to prove some point?" So I admitted I was. I then calmly explained why I thought religions such as Christianity and Islam were dumb, which made the 2 students look even angrier at me. Teacher had a word with me after my class and said, "Don't pull that shit again." I said, "Okay, but it's still within my free speech to say all religion, especially monotheistic ones, an example, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, are evil." My teacher is a Christian, and he looked a bit pissed, so I said I need to stay on focus/topic. As it stands, I already get good grades. His class is the one I don't take seriously, to be honest, mostly because of the nonsense subject matter on the module, and partly because he's a Christian and I calmly explain my points. Am I the asshole? Whew. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw a disclaimer. We're not going to shy from harsh topics because we're adults and it's the real world. So we all grew up in Christian homes and families. If you're choosing to be offended by this and don't want to listen to us, that's okay. If you want to turn off at this point, that's fine. Just know we're not going to censor ourselves just for the sake of other people. You know, we can handle this and we can be mature about it. So, with that, Councilman Dill, what are your first thoughts on the case?
There at the beginning, I kind of chuckled just because of the spaghetti thing. But I think he was doing that, honestly, to prove a point. Like, I don't think he's being an asshole because he does have freedom of speech. And I know.
Don't give your vote yet.
Oh, shit. Sorry. But anyway.
Who invited this guy?
Yes,
Who's
Dill,
this
you
guy?
Who's this guy?
But, like, yeah, I mean, like he said, he does have freedom of speech. And there's so many different entities out there that you can, like, follow as a religion. I don't know if that's the correct terminology or not, but, like, there's so many different things that constitute his religion anymore. You can't judge anything like that harshly, like that teacher was doing. And like he stated, like, it's not like he was a bad student. He said he had good grades in the class, and this and that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think he was in the wrong with anything he was doing. I mean, he probably could have picked something besides the spaghetti monster. I don't know if that's what he actually believes in, but I think he was trying to make it a little comical there, which kind of, I mean, that'd probably piss off most Christian teachers, from what I would think. But at the same time, he has that right. So.
Okay, Councilman Minnigh, first thoughts.
I think the worst thing that you can have personally, and I've stood by this for a long time, is somebody who, and don't get me wrong, to each everybody's own, somebody who just completely just shoves religion down your throat doesn't work for me. We're all human, and to err is human, so it's one thing to be religious and follow those beliefs, but it's another thing to, completely just fall into it and just pound it in every aspect of your life. Like, look, we're human. We get it. It happens. We mess up. We screw up. It happens. But I also don't think that we should hate people because they're other religions. Can't we all just be decent people and get along for a change?
Preach
like,
it.
wouldn't that just be nice if we would just be like, oh, you're a Muslim, that's cool, or you're a Buddhist. Like, shouldn't we try to learn more about each other? And even if he is an atheist, like I think that would create more honest discussion amongst it. But nobody wants to do that.
Good answer.
Councilman Boog, first thoughts.
Initially, I thought it was funny. I thought he was doing it to be funny, and he even said that he was doing it to be funny. Where I think he lost ground with me was when he said, and as a small disclaimer, I'm not a very religious person, is when he says that all religion is dumb. If he wants his thoughts and beliefs to be respected as an atheist, which a lot of people do not respect that, which is fine. I do. I have friends that are atheists. I have no problem with it because you don't know what is or is not out there. But making the statement, the umbrella statement of all religion is dumb, that's where he lost ground with me. And as an educator, it doesn't matter, like, I'm going to kind of speak on behalf of the teacher. If he's forcing religion on them, shame on him. That's not his job. But I think that the kid kind of took this project out of context and kind of ran with it the other way. I think that the project was to just kind of, speak your piece, and the kid wanted to be a class clown about it instead of... He could have talked about his atheism, and honestly, I feel like that would have created a much better discussion than him spoofing and talking about a religion that...
Because
was
he made
created,
it into something funny,
yeah,
it's probably a little less serious.
He spoke on a religion that people practice. It was created as a joke, so I don't know whether or not his argument would carry any weight for me.
Yeah. So I just want to make a little observation here, Garrett. The fact that both of us were educators or were in an educator path, we had almost the exact same thought. And that's going to go into my final answer, but I'll get on that later. My first thoughts as I was reading it, one was, I agree, like, he started off just, trying to, even if it was making a point and he didn't realize it, or maybe just sort of doing it as a joke. What got me was that he visibly saw other people getting upset and said that he took it further as a result, being it the students and the teacher. So I think while at first he had a point, I think once he realized he was getting a reaction, he took it further. And I think it's absolutely okay to have your own beliefs, and if he believes in that religion, that's great. Do your thing, it's your life. Even though I don't see eye to eye with you, I can respect that you believe what you believe in. I believe what I believe in. But when you are using your beliefs to further agitate or offend people that don't share the same beliefs with you, even if they're the ones getting offended at you first, when you're just speaking your own piece, I think when you respond and react, you're just adding to the problem. And that's the problem of not being able to have an open discussion and respect one another as humans with their own beliefs and own thoughts. So that's sort of my first thought. I'm sure you can sort of guess what my answer is, but that was Garrett sort of took one of the things I was going to say, but that's going to play more into my answer. So, with our observations out and everyone's spoken, Councilman Dill, what is your verdict for this young gentleman?
I'm still gonna stick with not an asshole. I don't know. The more I kept thinking about it, like, what are you laughing at?
You're delayed.
Oh. You want me to start over?
No, you're good. Keep going.
Like I said, initially I was like, hey, he's not an asshole, freedom of speech, this and that. But the more I thought about it, like, I don't know, like, I could see where, like you guys were saying, like, at first he was trying to make a point, and then he was kind of a dick about it. Like, he could have taken it a whole different route. He made his point, but then he was an asshole about it. Yeah, well, he's an asshole.
Yeah. So that's your vote? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't you start by saying that he was not an asshole?
Yes, and I just talked myself out of it.
He started
Okay.
with no.
Okay.
But all right, Councilman Minnigh.
So I feel like I'm just copying Councilman Dill on our last two answers, but yeah, I think he is. The beginning of it, whenever he like just mocks it by saying like, "Oh, I'm the spaghetti monster." Like, okay, no, you're not. Like, you're just being an ass. Like, that's the definition of it. The one thing that you said though, Ben, and I think Garrett said it too, is the fact that when you mock what other people enjoy and do, that makes you a jerk. The thing is you can be an atheist and that's fine. Like Garrett said, I have friends that are atheists too. The issue lies within you when you make fun of people for what they believe in, and if it's more for a reaction, like what you said, Ben, then you're just being a jerk about it, because when you can sit and have honest discussions with people about different facets of life, and you start to understand other people's point of view, that just makes for better friendships and better peace amongst everything. But when you just start mocking people for being what they are, that's another thing. Now, the thing that you said, Dill, about his, I get that he has free speech and, whatever. You can have free speech and still be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, that's just because you have free speech, and I get it, that you can still be a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 for yes. Councilman Boog.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and just say that he is an ass, or he is the asshole in this situation. He might not be an asshole of a kid. He's a 16-year-old kid. He's got a lot of learning to do, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Sure.
But
Absolutely.
so, kind of to go back on what I was saying before, the term atheist carries a lot of weight. When someone says that they're an atheist, a lot of people go into like a shock reaction immediately. And it shouldn't. It literally means that you just don't believe in a god or any god. Not that you're against religion. It's just the fact that you don't follow one and you don't believe in a god. So, with that being said, a lot of times he's not going to get the reaction he wants out of people by saying he's an atheist. He obviously should. He probably wants to be accepted like most people do. So the fact that he's not willing to listen and accept the way people are in their own religions, that kind of makes him an asshole, because he's just trying to upset people that are religious intentionally, and that's kind of shitty. So yeah, I think he's an asshole.
Yeah. Okay, so 3 for yes. I'm going to close off that I believe yes, this young guy was an asshole in this situation on 2 counts, actually. I think there's 2 counts of assholism happening here. The first, as a teacher, all the teacher asked was, and I quote from the post, to do a short presentation on something we have a strong belief in. One, I'm sure he has one thing, even if it's like a certain music that he likes, or a favorite band, or a favorite thing to do. He strongly believes that he likes to do those things. He probably has some sort of belief, and he took the assignment way out of context just to try to be funny and be a clown. So one would have gotten a bad grade on that count for me. Not because of what he said, not because of what he did, but because he didn't actually do the assignment. So the teacher in me is like, come on, man, you got to give me something. The second, going off my original thoughts, like I said, absolutely okay to have your own beliefs, like you fine gentlemen have said, but when you're using what you're saying to further respond or make people upset after you've already noted it, then you are indeed being an asshole again. So, user u/throwaway HGBFV, the councilman of assholes, says that you were indeed the asshole in your situation.
Asshole.
Have a nice day. Unanimous, yeah. So
You may not be an
so
asshole,
that's-
but you are here.
yeah, we're not saying you are in this situation. In all these, it's just the situation we're talking about. We don't know these people. This is the internet. So with that, I think that went really well, and I think we'll probably do that segment again. I think that's very well set up for us. And we have a couple other ones on Reddit like that we have planned to do as well. So if you enjoyed it, great for you, and keep expecting that in the future.
Let us know.
So with that, we are already at 40-some minutes after I said 30 minutes, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. If it's longer, it is. If it's shorter, it's shorter. It doesn't matter. Any other final thoughts from you, gentlemen?
I think that's a good thoughts for your thoughts session.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
For your thoughts.
All right, fine people of
I
the
like
internet and the world. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Season 2. It's going to be a doozy. Keep supporting us. Be sure to like our channel. Like this video if you like it. If I do find a way to get this on SoundCloud, be sure to download that app and find however it is you're supposed to listen to us if you're a commuter like myself, and it's easier to just listen. But whatever you do, we hope you enjoyed the show, and we hope you enjoy what's to come. And
if
we will
there's
see
any
you next
delay
time.
in the future, we apologize in advance.
Yes, thank you,
Just wanna
Dill.
throw that in there.
All right, ladies and germs, thank you for joining us for episode 1 of season 2 of the Ramble on the Mountain podcast. We will see you next time.